Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers. Today I'm going to be talking to you about a couple things. I got another video to make afterwards. But first I want to say I was talking to a friend of mine, and I'm not going to give his name. A good friend of mine, by the way. And he says to me, because we were talking about transgenderism and sex, and he said because he can afford to be shallow. Because I made a joke with him, I said, well, aren't I cute? Because, he says, oh, with a little makeup, you could look attractive. But since I don't look cute, he said, no deal. But someone like this that has a full beard, this is on my Facebook wall, by the way, for some of you. If I looked that good, then he wouldn't have to be shallow. But because he said that, he said, yes, I can afford to be shallow. So, today's going to be about a simple video. It'll be talking about a bit about being yourself. Now, as you know, throughout the whole time that I've done videos for the last 6, 7, 8 years, I've tried to be myself. Please excuse me for 1 minute while I fix this. There we go. It's a little off. There we go. So, as you all know, I'm a Hello Kitty fan. So today, not just that whole thing, oh, if you were attractive, it was just a slap in the face. But I get that all the time because, I got a nickname from another friend. My nickname from, Aaron is Trixie. Um, then there's the nickname for someone else, Wifey. And so all these little things, and then I have another nickname from another friend, a girl who calls me Waifu. It's a Japanese thing from anime. But anyways, I would like to talk to you all about being yourself. That's right. Being yourself is the most key important thing to being a transgendered person. You can be a cross-dresser and be fine with going out in public like the Sailor Moon guy who's got a full beard and he wears the Sailor Moon outfit. He's a gentle guy from what I understand, and everyone loves him. He just wants to show his appreciation for Sailor Moon. Now, for me, of course, me being transgendered, I have to fit my mind with my body, so surgical intervention is needed. Whereas some people start out transitioning, they don't know what to do and how to do it. So, let's see. I got one friend of mine who's kind of pissed off at the English medical system. Well, I have no clue what to do there. I'm not in England. If I was in England, I'd probably reclaim a castle somewhere for myself. Put up my flag and be like, I live here. This is my castle. I'm the queen. So, anyways, being yourself. Now, some people know what I had to go through for the last 16 years, and I will break it down to you once again because, well, my air conditioner remote, I'm kind of a little lazy. I was talking to this girl today who said she feels more comfortable if she is fully in female mode all the time. So I said I'm going to have to work with her probably, or be an angel or a guide to guide her to that point. I mean, look at me. I mean, I have some facial hair, but that's only because the um, the thing is where I live, electrolysis is very hard to find. You're looking 80 miles one way, and you got to go 4 times a month. And I saw someone say something recently about electrolysis being up to $20,000. Just picture that for a minute. $20,000. And insurances don't cover it. Now insurance companies over here will cover breast implants if you know what you're doing, facial feminization if you have the right insurance plan, gender confirming surgery or surgical intervention, or etc. So, and the reason I'm trying to move around is some of you have known in previous videos, this girl is too lazy to use a thread needle because I got an air conditioning pair of sweats which has a big tear in the back. And sometimes people say, "Hey, Aries, you got your underwear showing." I like it because it's air conditioned. And the fact that in the summertime, when I'm at home, I can wear this instead of wear where the this is Grumpy, by the way, Grumpy Dwarf. Apparently Aaron got me this like 10 years ago saying I'm grumpy. At the time I was. So being a trans woman, even though I'm not attractive, I am myself. So I'll wear dresses, I'll wear pumps, I keep a pair of shoes under my bed, for example, because sometimes, like these, I will have to dress up nicely, like on payday, or bill payday, I should say. I have to go in on the 3rd. I have to go in on the 3rd to get blood work done for my hormones. And that means, yeah, I got to get on the medical shuttle, take it all the way, 40 miles one way, get off, get my blood work done, rush upstairs, deliver the notes I need for the endo to write the final report for gender confirming surgeries. Then I got to run downstairs, run over to the psychiatric office, and talk to the receptionist, which I talked to her Monday, and say, "Do you have the new copy of the letter?" Because when the psychiatrist sent my referral out for gender confirming surgery and breast augmentation and so forth, she put down just what they requested on the doctor's website, which was a PDF on the psychological evaluation. The therapist wrote the main big letter. Well, they said, "Oh, for billing purposes, this and that, we need this." Contacted them. I contacted them. They said, "Whoa, what's the deal here? We're supposed to be contacted." I don't know. So today I was supposed to contact the doctor's office. I decided, we'll wait till Monday because Aaron, my best friend's helping me out on finding the best travel time. I found a good program to use to get my cheapest airfare, and if I use American Airlines, I get my miles saved. Bink! Anyways, we're still working on the hotel problem. We got one hotel lined up if we go that route, but he needs a call, so he's like, "Let me make the phone calls," because he's getting paid a decent cigar for doing this. I don't like being on the phone. So, anyways, apparently, I just want to say to some of you out there, my aunt, who sometimes watches these, is that, they already know it, is you have to be yourself. So with me, I've done a lot of trials and tribulations, laser hair removal, getting prepared. And as you all know, some think, "Oh, I need no breasts." Well, let's just say if you know what I'm doing to do this, as Aaron says, it's a burden to me and my body. So a little breast augmentation will go a long ways. And then there's the family that does watch this and they say, "Oh, sweetheart, you do pass well. You're all great." Yes, but the problem is I've been meaning to get my nails painted. Can't do it because lack of funds, because putting it towards my trip to have surgical intervention. Then there's the makeup thing. I've tried to get a tutor to help me. The problem is I'm very afraid because a friend of mine and I did some research. She's like 43, who called me tonight on Facebook Messenger. I had this jackwad, no offense to anyone out there. You know how sometimes I can be rude and crude and crass as a woman. But I had an Arab guy who's like, "Talk to me. I want to talk sex." So finally, I decided to block him on the messenger. I'm like, "If you keep this up, sir, you're going to be blocked on my wall. I don't care." Thing is I don't tolerate it. Then I get these pervos that's, "Come on, you're cute. Let's Skype." I don't Skype except for certain friends and certain family. That's it. Everyone else, I do not do. Does anyone realize, or are they all stupid? Some Arabs and Hindus, I just think is stupid as a box of rocks. No offense to anyone out there. So, we'll continue. When it comes time to being yourself thoroughly, you have to be yourself. Now, I get people and jackwads and jackoffs and hilljacks and hillbillies and trailer trash rednecks and redneck hillbillies and redneck, you get it, southern jackwads that say, oh, well, you're going to hell because you're transgender. Let me just rephrase this. Again, Paul wrote the letters in the Bible, in the New Testament. It doesn't say anything. The Old Testament says man should not lie with another man as he does with a woman or dress in the same clothes. But guess what? A woman's clothes in the old Hebrew days had two straps, apparently, where a man's only had one. Basically, the clothes were different. Does anyone out there realize this, or are they all just stupid butthole morons? I mean, no offense to anyone. I don't try to insult. I'm just pointing out, my frustrations at times, as well as. So, because who I am, I don't let it get to me. As I've said in many videos, people make laugh. I go up to them near the grocery store or whatever. I'm like, hey, what are we laughing at? And they're like, it's because you got to grow a sense of humor. The other day, me and Aaron were on the bus, right? And Aaron's telling me about the story previous. Yeah, there's this trans woman. I think it's a trans woman. Well, we confirmed it was a trans woman because one of the bus drivers said, oh, you look great, honey. You look really great. I was in a dress and everything. And, sometimes we trans women, or we genetic women, I'm not genetic, but you get the point, or guys, they sit there and they giggle when they see this guy they know is a guy wearing a dress or trying to be a woman, even if they're transgender. And sometimes you just can't stop but chuckle once in a while, like this one who's wearing, a bad hair job, and they're on the bus, they're overweight. They have a good sense of humor, just like me. But I'm just like, first thing out of my mouth was, "Oh my God, is that them, Aaron?" Yeah. Well, the bus driver was talking about it before they got on the bus, so I'm just like, "Wow." But I usually don't laugh. I just sit there and say, "Oh, you poor thing." Whereas once in a while, I get a chuckle too. Heck, I had a woman look at me the other day who's transgender, and she said, hey, you look really good for your age. How old are you? Almost 40. Whoa. She says, I'm almost 50, and I'm a used car salesman. And I'm like, whoa, how does that do for being a woman and a salesman or saleswoman? Oh, it's okay. Thing is, you got to be yourself. That's the main key. You have to be yourself. You have to be yourself. You have to do things that you want to do. I mean, you can't just be locked up forever as someone you are not. You look at the picture is, like I said, my best friend. Oh man, I'd pork her. I'd have sex with her. So, anyways, talking to my aunts for a minute. So, anyways, she recommended me some books. So, I was like, eh. So, anyways, the bottom line is you have to be yourself. When you start out and you're transgender, you might as well just get through things. I mean, look at my first partner who's transgender. She jumped in the deep end of the pool. She went to work as a girl. She said, this is how I am. Here's my information. 2 years, she's went transition. When I met her, she was almost done. But then things happened, homelessness and this and that. And I stayed with her. And in the end, she committed suicide. I lost the woman I loved. But she taught me that if you jump head first into a pool and you're transgender, you might make it better than if you have to revert many times over just so you can figure out it's what you want, I've never given up hope, never given up medications, never given, you just have to be yourself. I mean, look around. I mean, yes, some medications do better than others. You use pills, they might not feminize you better. If you can get other estrogens, you're doing better, And so The bottom line is you need to realize that when you're transitioning, a girl does not have a beard. Now you can get a few little things here, like I got a line here, but it doesn't show on the camera. But it bothers me. I'm trying to get it done, but I'm stuck with no laser hair removal again until surgical intervention's done, which means airplane ticket, hotel, stockpile my groceries in one of my large suitcases, ramen noodles. Go there, get it done, then surgery date 8 days later, and then voila! Healing and recovery, which the psychiatrist and the therapist are preparing me for the pain, you know, the pain. So, and as you know, for some of you out there, when I was talking to this girl, Jessica, she was telling me how she feels, and I said, you have to be yourself, pretty much. I didn't say you have to be yourself, hun, but you know, you have to be your yourself. And that is the main thing in life. You can't go and be someone you're not, you know. If you feel comfortable and you were meant to be a girl, then that's what you need to do. But you also got to remember that you need to be yourself, and that means following the protocols of the standards of care, or the gender international gender thingy, or back then during my transition, it was called the Harry Benjamin International Dysphoria, or the Harry Benjamin the Standards of Care. Somewhere in my bag, I got my little letter that says, you know, I'm not a threat to anyone when it comes to girls' bathrooms, blah, blah, blah. So, bottom line is, once you take this step and you get situated, then you start working with therapists and psychiatrists eventually to get on hormones. And then from there, you work on being yourself, and you'll be feeling more comfortable. In my opinion, as a trans woman, I think, and let me get this, and that's why I'm wearing the robe, so you don't get to see the giant hole in my pants. You're wondering, what is in this vial? I was told to refrigerate it because it lasts longer. So, this vial is my estrogen. This is an injection. Now, I have learned as a trans woman that when you are transitioning and you get these weird feelings, or you know, you are scared or whatever, your male hormones, in my opinion, are trying to convince you that this isn't what you need. And it is, because your mind will start to change to the point of, this is right, this is normal, this is perfect. And it will suppress certain things, like maybe you have anger issues. It'll suppress it to a point. Maybe other issues. The point is the estrogen will help you, not just in the feminizing process, but it tells you. And don't forget, you have to take a male hormone blocker. In this country, you're allowed, I believe, spironolactone. In every other country, you're allowed to have androcur. How do I know this? Because as you know, I was in Australia for 4 years, so that's what they prescribe to people that, and they had to be very careful with it, because apparently it gave suicidal thoughts. Fiona was on it, my love, and I was on Spirona. They just decided, you're a yank, we're going to put you on this, it's safer. We don't know the side effects of it, you know. And also, sometimes when you go into appointments, the doctors make notes like, oh, this time they were wearing jeans and a cute Hello Kitty t-shirt that says hello. Or they're coming in and like, well, their hair is female, they're done what they could, they're wearing pants or slacks, or, oh, this time they're wearing a dress. They'll make notes of it for records, you know. Like, there's a girl that I tried to emulate in school because I thought she was cool. She was wearing sweats, pumps, and tights. I emulated her, well, the doctor threw a fit about it. Well, you know, it's trial and error. I mean, come on, you know. I mean, with me, as everyone knows, I'm an old-fashioned girl. I like to do emails only when I have to the businesses. Otherwise, I'll pull out my my little area where I keep my addresses for business contacts. I'll write them a letter, stick it in it, slam a stamp on it, out the mailbox it goes. One of my pen pals, as you know, Angela, we still write back and forth via snail mail. Sometimes she messages me and says, "Hey, how many letters did you send me?" "Oh, I still got 4 to go," or 3 or 2, because, I let her know. But the bottom line is you have to be yourself. You can't sit there and be, "Woe is me." Yes, the other part for being yourself is you have to take drastic action. With me, of course, my mother accepted. She was a Lutheran. My old man was in the army for so long, but he was a Baptist. I don't think my old man would have accepted, but he died before I could come out to him. One time I told him when I was visiting him, he said, that's cool, to each their own. I think one in one ear and out the other, but a month later he died of a heart attack, so. Then you got my mom, always open-minded. Well, I would love to get you on a transgendered regiment early, sweetie, but I can't because you got to do it at 18. Well, I went to Australia, it started at 19. Woohoo! Nowadays, they're giving girls 3, 4 years old. And as you know, me and Aaron's done videos in our other channel that state, and maybe I'm racist, maybe I'm a bigot. People call me racist, but I'm not racist. What the words are coming out wrong right now. What it is, maybe I'm a bigot, as some say. Being transgendered myself, but at the age of 8, at the age of 4, do you really know what gender you are? I mean, the statistics, like Trudy Kennedy in Australia was, giving minors under 18 the sex change. And then 20 years later, they're miserable in their new gender from male to female. And they go and sue her. "Oh, they misdiagnosed me." Next thing you know, she gets out of it, but then she's got more lawsuits. Like, last time I heard, it was like 4 dozen. But 5 years ago, she dies of a heart attack from all the stress, from what I understand. Thing is maybe it's 18 and over so they don't make those mistakes. But then again, I'm outspoken on that. But I try to give guidance when I can. Like, there's a website recently, and it's for insurance and stuff. And someone said, "Well, I've been on estrogen for 10 years. I want my breasts done." Well, I heard rumors about these doctors. I said, "Hey, here's the deal. I'll give you the information because I'm a guide. I'm a minister. I'll help you. But if it comes to fruition, let me know." "Oh, yeah, no problem." Next thing you know, they disappeared. Every one of those ones I've helped, they disappeared. They wouldn't even give the info to others. It's like, I got my breasts, I'm done. So I've learned lately in the transgender community, to help those who you want to help, but keep a distance. And what you have, like a coffee can, keep the lid completely on it and sealed. Because, for example, I have my surgery date set. I have my consultation date set. 8 days later from the consultation, I have my surgery date because of reasons. Problem is, I'm not giving you guys the location of where I'm traveling because I am not going to have my date stolen or some other action happen because of it. Therefore, as Aaron says, and it's not every transgendered person, but it's mostly the ones that want to heavily deceive and not be themselves. I can't deceive because I'm a minister, plus the fact that I'm open-minded and this is who I am. Even if I have facial feminization, which is on the table for the surgeon, I'm not going to deceive. My thing is, I see too many girls deceiving, and I've done many videos in the past where I've said, "Oh, well, the girl had all the plastic surgery and then got the crap kicked out of them," when the guy basically was having sex and didn't know. The honest thing is, be honest with the partners you're with. That's the other thing. You're going to be yourself. You need to sit there and say, "Oh, by the way, hon, I was born male. I hope that doesn't bother you. And if it does, just be friends or let them go out the door without getting violent." Because most men that have sex with a trans woman think that they became gay because they stuck it in a beautiful woman's rear or vagina, man-made, and then they throw a hissy fit. Be yourself. If you can't be yourself and be like, "Yes, I'm transgender," a lot of them don't want to let other people know that they're transgendered. I go out in public all the time. People say, "Oh, is that a cross-dresser?" I go, "Oh, no, this baggie here, I just got my hormones for another month." Oh, you know. So it depends on who you get and how people react to you. When people say, "Oh, are you a Caitlyn Jenner?" "Oh, yes, but I'm not attractive like that crypt keeper." Then people just laugh, and they get a hoot, Um, I know gay people that are like, "Oh, hi, honey, how are you? Oh, yeah, you look great. Getting your medicine this month?" "Yeah, and I'm spending more money than I should at the Starbucks here." So, when you develop after 16 years of being a trans woman who you all have been all your life and you're transitioning to be yourself, you adapt to many things where you get negativity and it's like you just let it roll off. Like the guy said in John Wayne's Sansa Iwo it just rolls off my knife. Exactly. And on top of that, you get the newer generation trans women who say, "Oh, well, I'm not, I don't think you're a woman because you smoke cigars." But then you turn around and say, "Well, what do you do for a living?" "Oh, well, I'm a repair person for cars. I rebuild engines." I know one person that sued like 2 states in one. So it's like, "Oh, well, I'm wealthy now. I'm having surgery." Well, good for you. The problem is some of them are so happy. But we won't go into details there. It's just, the point I'm trying to make is if you're a cigar smoker, smoke pipes, good for you. If you're a coffee drinker, good for you. If you sit there and you say, "Oh, yeah, I'll take a," because as you all know, I used to be a heavy drinker, and you could sit there and say, "Oh, I'll take a bourbon," straight up, shot glass with a glass of soda on the side. I'll drink the shot first and the soda as a chaser. "Oh, well, that's a man's thing. I like vodka," and or whatever. It's like, yes, you can have your girly drink. The thing is any girl can do what another girl can do. Any girl can do many things that a man can do. I mean, fixing cars, that's fine. I know a trans woman who gave up being a man completely because even though it's in their genes, they say, "Oh, well, it's a man's job to mow the lawn." If you don't have a man to do it, you get on your riding lawnmower and you do it yourself. Problem is, some of these people out there, they think, that as a woman, you should be taken care of. As Aaron said in some of his videos, there's 7 types of transgenderism. I can't remember them all. My therapist agreed the other day that one was a gay, and he said he would never give a gay person a sex change. And that is, a no-no, or a lesbian a sex change. It's, again, a no-no. Then there's the fetish ones. Then there's the religious leaders and the religious ones that think if they love men and they're male and they want to be with man and they can't be with man as a man, they become a woman, then it's okay in the eyes of God. Well, God knows everything. Ding, ding, ding. But I'm not going to go into all these different types, like the fetish type and this type. Hell, there's one type, I think, out there somewhere where the man becomes a woman so he can be taken care of life. I mean, in my day and age, here's how things work in my own life, okay? I wrote letters to Angela about this. Aaron knows about this. When me and Aaron, we used to be together all the time, but we started having problems and we were at throats of each other. 10 years, 10.5 years being at each other together, we started to snap apart like we need our space. So we finally made a deal that he would uh, do dinners because he loves to cook. And he would come by certain things, like if I were in a movie and I'd be like, "Oh yeah, I got Despicable Me 2 or Minions, let's watch it." "Okay, you buy the popcorn." Well, I got a whole box of like microwave popcorn. Like today, he's like, "Hey, Trixie, can I mooch some popcorn?" This was the other day, so I was like, "Here." He ate one back, took one back home. I had a huge thing of it. And then he's like, "Hey, Trixie, I brought my package over so I don't have to mooch your other 7 bags." So he's eating it, watching the World Series tonight with me, and he's just like, and we talked about this and that, and he's a good friend, but he also knows that we were strangling each other. I mean, some people call us in town husband and wife because we're always together. When I walk the dogs, he's with me. When I go to the store, he's with me. If I want to go to the next town over, he's with me. Like the other day, I said, hey, you do know we should go and try to get our meds in on this day. Yeah, you want that free breakfast crunch from Taco Bell because it's free from something to something. Since the World Series, I keep thinking Super Bowl. The World Series stole a base. I want my free crunch wrap. Hell, I'll take your crunch wrap, fine. And on top of that, as his nickname is Habu, I'm like, instead, on top of that, Habu, I'll get something to eat for breakfast anyways. Oh, and I'd love to try that steak sandwich from Jack in the Box. I can make that at home. Can you make it cheaper than what they're doing? Probably not. But, he's willing to try, And so the bottom line is when you're yourself, you got to expect negativity. But the pro side of things is that as you evolve into a woman or a man, if you're a trans man, you will realize a lot of stuff about yourself. Like maybe you like women, maybe you like men, maybe you like both. Me, I like women, so technically, but a genetic woman 99% of the time will not choose a trans woman. My best friend, he's just like, but my other friend said, if you look cute as this one, even with a full beard, but, I said, they look like they're thick as, thin as rail. But my best friend who tried to transition, they went from like 280 down to 160, and then they went back up to almost 300. So, and then I said to him, what happened to that cute girl that I knew several years ago? They got fat and old. That was his answer to me because my best friend was transgender, but he said he was misdiagnosed. But you get the idea, Sometimes we throw little puns or jokes out there, but anyways, you got to be yourself. You don't need to let anyone tell you differently, and that includes making super supreme decisions. Drastic decisions. My mother accepted me. My mother held the family together. Oh, it's Rita. Rita's being happy. We should let her. Disabled? Yes. Transgendered? Yes. Let's be happy for her. My aunt, one of my aunts, oh, you're transgendered? I'm Lutheran. You stay in the van and talk to your mom. I'll talk to your mom, And I'm like, I'm just a girl. You've always wanted a daughter, but you have 3 sons, Auntie. Oh, that's okay. She was Japanese, by the way, so it's like, whatever. I mean, look, the Japanese people are starting to open up with transgenderism more, so I tried to educate her. It didn't work. My aunt probably would disown her own granddaughter if the granddaughter came out to be a transgendered female to male. I mean, the discrimination in my family is too much. Stepfather disowned me when he asked me one day, what are those pills? Told you, they're estrogen. I'm not knowing you. Bye-bye. Then my family split apart when my mother died 5 years ago. So what's happened? I basically lived on my own. The only one I have contact with all the time is Erin. One sister contacts me periodically, and it's like, I want to come visit you. No. Well, no. Well, no. So, because she kind of accused me of so many things, and then she has her daughter steal from my best friend, which he put her up in her home. I don't have the room here. Then, my other sister talks to me. Third sister, the one that I don't know that one, Alaska, disowned me. Fourth sister disappeared. Fifth sister, we don't know where she is. So I got 4 sisters that frankly disowned me. 3, one's trying to rebuild things, but I won't allow it because they caused Aaron heartbreak and stole from him almost $2,000 in box set videos, DVDs, television shows, and video games that are hard to replace. Hell, one game's like $400 right now. 400, and it's a PS2 game, PlayStation 2. So, then you got to take drastic action. If you come out to your family that disown you, you just say, you keep on going, and you just say, hey, I'm myself. I will get through this. Yahweh. God. Yahweh. or some call them, if you're Jehovah's Witness, Jehovah, will get you through this. Personally, I believe Yahweh because, that's the Hebrew root, or some call him El. Elia, I think, or something. I can't remember. Oh, Elohim. So, the point being is, if you know what you're doing, you can succeed as yourself, build your life up, and be happy. Instead of being miserable and cranky when it comes to not being yourself. Thing is, if you're going to transition, you need to focus on it. Live your life as a woman, even if you have to wait for hormones. Do your best with your makeup. Do your best with your beard thing. Do your best with everything. And eventually, things will fall into place. And they'll be like, here's your information, your prescription for hormones when you get to that point. Then you're on the next set of your transition. Eventually, you might sit there and tell your doctor, oh, yes, you know, I'm in love with this guy, and they're going to tell you. Well, you better tell them because you can't do it because they're going to be sitting there taking you like this as a wet rag, or as I say it, and hear me gently for all of you subscribers out there. When you pay your therapist and your psychiatrist, which they're very good, psychiatrists out here is like $400 per session, and don't forget 75 to 150 or for therapists, and some of them don't take insurance. They're going to be like I explained, for me. And listen carefully so you understand the example. Picture yourself washing clothes. Or picture them washing clothes by hand in a sink or like the Wonder Wash or whatever, and they put it in. Then you have to wring out your clothes to hang up on a clothes dryer line like I do. They'll sit there and they'll wring it out. Well, they're considering you the towel, and they'll wring you out. So, in their opinion, they'll tell you outright, if you do not want to come in for a special appointment or an emergency appointment for you screwing up and saying, telling this guy that you weren't born a female, a genetic female, and they think you're a female, and you deceive them, and then you got to go to a counseling appointment, they're going to say, well, we warned you, but okay, I'll take your money, because they know you're vulnerable at that part. So being yourself and being honest is the key to a happy and successful transition. A lot of these girls out there, they go and they transition. Let's just say some of them don't tell their lovers. One day they're getting ready to be married and they think, oh, my family won't tell them. Family comes in, oh, so you're Bill. Did you ever know John? John here used to be, and there's like, who's John? John's the lover you're married. This is them when they were a boy, and the family will spring it on. Next thing you know, the girl gets attacked or hurt or whatever, and they got to go to the psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist or therapist says, didn't you tell us, all this? Didn't you tell them? And they're like, oh, well, and then they get miserable, like rumor has it, with all the girls or the guys that were transgender, pre or post or whatever, in Australia, with Trudy Kennedy's office. And, well, I wanted to be a guy again because it was easier. I don't have to wear dresses and put bras on and do makeup and, go shopping for clothes and all these things. And then they say I'm miserable and I can't have a normal life as a guy and have a normal girlfriend or wife. Because they are the wife or girlfriend or whatever, Or, I became a woman and I got abused physically by men. I thought it'd be easier. Or such and such, discrimination. Thought it'd be easier being a woman for dancing or striptease, or all these things fall into place, so you got to be very careful. So my opinion is maybe, and just maybe, the governments of the world should take statistics to see for 20 or 30 years from now whether you be starting your transition at 4 or you're transitioning at 30, that you can realize that, the statistics will see how happy you are, or if you committed suicide. Suicide risk after surgery is very high. Some of them do it because they can't adjust with being female, wearing makeup or bras, or they decided it's wrong. Or you get the ones that could be wealthy, not Caitlyn Jenner, but have you ever read the story in England about I can't remember his name. He was an Iranian guy, lived in England, who was a real estate tycoon. He thought everyone was going through sex changes. He became a woman. Rumor has it, I think the report said he was a woman for 17 years. He finally went back to being a man. He told the woman that he was marrying, a Ukrainian, I believe. And the Ukrainian woman went on TV and said they are more understanding of women, and he is more sympathetic towards them, but he's also more compassionate. Well, yeah, maybe because he knows what's going on. He lived it for 17 years, He said going in shopping for girls' clothes. He knew what he wanted, he got out. He didn't like shopping. Me, I love window shopping, but I also know at times, like I was telling Angela, my pen pal, that I got a mindset right now, and it's not the season, and I've told her this in an email. Long skirts, you can't find them, you gotta wait. Perfume, I know what I like. I've sampled a lot of them out. I'm like, oh yeah, this is great. So I can order perfume online. Once I know my long skirt size, because there's nowhere to get size, you go to JCPenney. Well, we only have a few. Sometimes you get discriminated. You go to Target, you get discriminated. You go to Walmart, it's not the season. Now, certain places I go to, it's not the season. It's not the discrimination thing. You look on the racks before you go to know there was working there. Like, I've made connections. It's like, oh yeah, Rita, we don't have that. It's not the season. So you got to think, all about this. So being yourself is also knowing, so you got to be very careful, because once it's done, it's irreversible. But like the guy said, they can reverse the sex change to a point, but you're not going to have anatomically genital that's male that functions like a male. You'll have to do it like female. The male does pump it up with a pump, etc., etc. So you need to know what you're doing and how you're doing it. So you got to be very careful on this. That's why you have the psychiatrist, the therapist, the psychologist, the primary doctors. They all work together to know what you need and how you do it. So when you do get through this all, you're more mentally sound, so you know what's going on. I mean, yes, you can see the people out there, the younger generation, like my therapist is dealing with like 2 or 3 transgender people under the age of 14. And I believe they're on hormones, and he's like, oh, well, can we get them to have surgery? The doctors might not do it. And if the family agrees to it, there might be complications where the doctor's going to tell you 16 or 18 or 17 with parental concessions. So when you do this, just remember, it's a big step in your life, and it's not to take lightly. To be yourself, if you sit there and say, yes, I was happy being a woman all the time, but I'm miserable looking like a man, and I need to be my female self, then that's what you need to do, is be your female self. Don't deny your female self. Be yourself. Be happy. Otherwise, you're not going to be happy, and you're going to be miserable the rest of your life. So even if you have to take certain things like don't deceive and stuff, but a lot of girls, when they get to a point where they think they pass very good, they'll deceive. They'll get hurt. They'll get assaulted. Then they want more rights for the protections. And then, as I've seen in my own experience as being transgendered and almost post-operative 17 years, they say, we need more rights and we need the men to accept us as genetic women. The men don't want to accept you as a genetic woman. For A, you deceive, and B, maybe they're religious, or C, they think that you've destroyed their manliness if they marry or date you because you were male. To them, you're just, maybe a freak. Hell, I get it all the time, but you know what? I just dust myself off and keep continuing, but I don't deceive. But each their own. You got to be yourself, and you got to be yourself no matter what. If you're not yourself, you're going to be miserable the rest of your life. So, with that said, I'm wrapping this up. I didn't mean to talk this long. I don't have much time left because Aaron will be messaging me soon saying something about little Mr. Moppo is going to need to go to the bathroom. That's his service dog. And Mr. Blizzard, who's behind the chair here, sleeping away. He's a little Eskimo dog, American Eskimo, miniature, 10 years old. So as some of you have seen in the videos, he is sleeping behind Mama. So yes, be yourself. Don't deceive. Transition if that's what makes you happy. Just go through the proper channels and you won't regret it. Now, some people will regret it even after surgery. So you got to remember, it could be a fetish, could be they have their own reasons why they're doing it. So, with that said, please add, please subscribe, please post comments, please leave feedback, and please leave suggestions. Thank you, and may Yahweh, the Creator, bless you in all you do. And please look for my other video tonight, and then I'm off to read and go to bed. Thank you, and may God bless you all.